Okay, so here we go. Everybody ready? Now we're going to hit the button over here, okay? Everybody stand by. Here we go.
Vexed by technology? Not anymore. I'm David Yak here, and this is Yak About Tech. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm David Yak here, and this indeed is Yak About Tech, your GPS guide to everyday technology and the effects it has on our lives. So, we are broadcasting once again, for those of you in the know, from Planet Vero Studios, home of Waxy 107.9 and 1370 AM on your dial, where the fish and sharks are always biting. So, Wayne, we want to talk about a little technology issue, but not the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
So here I was. Let me start the story. Here I am with two beautiful women. For those people who didn't catch the earlier show on live stream, on a first catching this on terrestrial, we have Kimball Stadler, who you may know from us talking about social media, and we have the very famous, world-renowned star, Tania Ortega-Cowan from Chunky Chat.
Where we have conversations of substance with do-gooders and heroes.
Oh, that's it. I love it. She says that.
I have my radio voice, too.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Back to you, David.
Anyway.
So there you were.
So there we were. Oh, by the way, so let me tell you why today's special. Today we're going to sort of do a little promotion. We're going to talk about a new company, a new entity in the local area that's launching. We're very excited about. It'll be a real game changer, we're hoping. And also because for those of you who actually saw us on live stream in the earlier show, you know that we opened up a bottle of
La crema.
La crema.
Oui.
That what is that? The peanut grist.
That light wine that goes
so
way
tasty.
It's about everything.
Right.
It's
so
tasty.
Really got a close-up of this.
that's right. Close up. Actually, he says it's
Chef Michael said a very good choice.
and it is a very good choice.
Cheers to
And of
Chef
course-
Michael.
And you do notice if you turn the camera on
patisserie bread.
to Wayne, he picked up the bottle not only to show you the wine,
Yeah,
but he's
see,
going to
I
drink
got-
out of the bottle.
See
No,
himself.
do it. Do it. We forgot a glass for you. Just chug a lugga.
Let's just chug a lug right here.
Do it. Go. Wait.
Drink,
Show the camera.
drink.
Drink.
I'll do anything other than that.
Swig for technology.
All right. So
I like that. We should trademark that.
There you go.
so early on,
So there you were.
There we were. You know, we're about to come in and we were doing a technology show, but we're sort of as a special show.
We is
Meaning us.
Us.
oh.
And so instead, we're doing a show about really marketing and that type of
But
thing.
we're using technology.
But we're using a lot of technology.
Technical talk.
That's right.
And technical
Because it
talk.
is Yak About Tech.
But I did have, we had a technical situation we should talk about. I mean,
We should just admit it.
yeah, we should admit it.
We're
Part
not
of what
perfect.
we've been doing every single week, and Wayne knows this well, is we've been taking our audience through our renovations, how we're bringing video, you know, and how we talk about video and social media. We've been taking the audience with us along for the ride. So
On a virtual
today,
journey.
Some of us kicking.
that's right, and
No
some
one's screaming. No.
No,
Yeah,
that's good. So what happened today was really interesting. For those of you who don't know, we simulcast on video through live stream, and we also broadcast over the iHeartRadio Waxy 107.9. And we opened this show with such life and such joy. With these women
We were
and with
dancing
Wayne,
to
and we were
music.
about to dance and sing. And then we did have a moment where I was talking about how I screwed up technology this week. I lost 3 or 4 days to
The backup
fact
wasn't
that
backed
the
up,
backup
and-
wasn't backed
And
up.
then the backup backed up.
And what I thought
got
was in the
backed up.
cloud.
It was-
Anyway, I took a plunger. I straightened it all out. And all my computers are working, but I did lose about 3 days. But that's not the technology. I wanted to talk about what just happened here.
Yeah.
So we got so into the fact that we had everything adjusted, the video was working, the guests are ready.
The pancake makeup is on.
The pancake makeup is on, and Wayne is raring to go, and he's going, yeah, he's giving us the hand. We're about to go. What did you call it? The initial screen with those colors, the color bar.
Color bar.
The color bar
TV
screen's
color.
up. So the color bar's up. We're getting ready for
So
the
much
music.
technology happening.
That's right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are just really delivering a great, energetic show here. And I'm talking about these technology situations. And we turn around, and all of a sudden we realized we weren't broadcasting on the terrestrial
Radio.
radios.
It was called I Forgot to Push a Button.
You had too many buttons to push. It's
Oh,
okay.
I do.
You're
Yep,
learning.
yep.
We were pushing your buttons before the show,
Thank you.
so
We
Thank you.
We flustered you.
I know it's our fault, you know.
So anyway, so we did have that little technical glitch, and it's interesting. Whenever I talk about what we're doing, I actually get responses, from people setting up their own studios, and they're going, I'm listening, I'm watching you guys, and what kind of cameras do you have up, and what kind of sound equipment, and
Right now, those people are watching, in fact.
That's right, right
Yep.
now. And what I try to explain is that we're doing something interesting, and I think Wayne is really bearing the brunt of these difficulties, is that we have here a traditional built radio studio. And, it's built, as I think Wayne says, there's, 18,000 feet of concrete above us and in the walls and all that.
Because
to
a
make sure.
hurricane wiped them out once, and
No,
that's
it
not
sure
going to happen
did.
again.
No
Really?
more. Yeah, but more important, it makes it quiet and silent.
For the sound, which is
Sound of
the
silence.
quality that iHeartRadio expects.
Right.
For us to deliver to the broadcast audience. So we could have gone, I think, in a one-camera situation, the way Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern are recorded. Howard may have more than one camera.
Yeah, he does
actually,
have a few more.
because you
Yeah.
can see his
he has
guests.
quite a few,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
But basically, it's the recording of the radio station, and I think ultimately, our goal here is to see how we can push the limits of really developing a really solid video, experience as well as a radio experience. And one of the things that we're toying with here is possibly integrating out of studio experiences with our recorded interviews. So when you do your chunky chat interviews, there were things that really work well in the studio. But wouldn't it be nice, if we went out with some equipment now and a video camera, and we did sort of not man on the street, but let's say you wanted to experience somebody's, where they're housed, they want to show you around, or somebody's, developed a new baseball stadium for the Little Leagues or something. Now, to talk about it here is really great, but to be able to go out and see and integrate it within our show, so we still give the radio audience a good listen, because we'll try to, we'll record the best quality audio we can, obviously, outside. But then in social media, on our YouTube channels, we can actually start developing really shows that people want to come, and they want to have more of a video experience. So we're not just, a videoed radio show,
Right.
but we're a video experience.
Baby steps.
Yeah, but we're doing it little by little. And I like the idea that we're bringing the audience with us. I like saying hello and video and every once in a while. And because I think that there's a certain audience that isn't quite following how the world has changed, how people are really getting all their information, all their experiences now from the YouTube channels, or Vivo or Vimeo or any of those channels where people are actually sharing. People are sharing lifestyles. People are sharing experiences. People are sharing teaching, teaching courses.
In social media, we have an expert here.
We do. And
They're still thinking it's a one-way push. And
no, it's an
a
interactive.
conversation.
It's a conversation, and that's what we're going to get into in a little while. Anyway, I like taking the audience with us because I think it helps them understand what we're trying to do, and not to expect. We're not doing a big, NBC special and overly produced and that type of thing. but we're real people bringing real information
Right.
to people and real experiences. And if we can use the technology to enhance that experience,
Right.
it's really great. And one of the things we're doing with this new company, and we'll start talking about that in a minute, we'll probably go to break first and then come back to it, but is the fact that we now have the tool sets to really not only share our experiences and information, but to interact with our audience and have them share with us. And at a certain point, the conversation.
Accessibility.
And accessibility. And I think the reason we actually use the word conversation is because it's always incomplete when it's one way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
because
not
when
complete.
you post something, you want to check to see who commented and who liked it.
Right.
How many likes do I have?
Right? Or if your information is
better.
correct or another point of view.
They like me.
Now, we see that on the internet. Over the years, you know, we read the comment section always on the internet, you know, what people feel and experience. But to be able to maybe even share beyond that, you know, when we put people on, we have the Skype ability built in. Somebody can Skype in and we can actually put them right into the live stream and have people sort of like a modern day call-in show. Anyway, we're going to come back and talk about the center in a minute. And I'm David Yak here. This is Yak About Tech, a little less about tech today and a little bit more about business with Tania and Kimball.
Dr. Roger Meyer is pleased to welcome Dr. Robert Reinauer to the staff of New Vision Eye Center's retina practice. Dr. Reinauer is fellowship trained. His focus is the surgical and medical care of the retina, including detachments, macular degeneration, and diabetic eye care. Call for an appointment with Dr. Reinauer today and make the move to the fellowship trained doctors of New Vision Retina Center. 772-257-8700 or visit newvisioneyecenter.com.
Community, everybody's going and everybody's pretty happy, so I couldn't be happier. It would be terrible if I had a sponsor that people weren't happy with. I really lucked out on this one. So it's New Vision Eye Center, everybody. So go there and have your eyes taken care of. And I do promise you we're going to get them and we're going to talk about tech in a bit. So that's really great. All right. So the moment we've been waiting for. So this really started, for everybody that's not familiar with this, you know, integrated over the last 8 months, integrated with our talk about tech and talking about apps and talking about home technology. We've actually been talking a lot about social media, and because social media plays a big role in how we interact in our daily lives. And initially, we talked about, you know, how generations are coming together through the use of Facebook. A lot of families, you know, really can keep up with one another. Facebook. I know that, you know, I look at Facebook before I go to bed every night, and I get pictures of my little ones and all that. So I'm really thrilled about that. So we talk about it from that respect. And also, I mean, how we've kept up with people that we sort of lost contact with when we were young.
Almost like they'd be
Reunions.
dead to you, you know, after all the years. But then suddenly you...
And you reconnect in a way. I remember my first girlfriend from college, Holly. And Holly, I know you listen to this in Hawaii. So, you know, we were always very, very close. Even when we separated, went our own ways. We went through school together and that type of thing. And she ended up with her husband moving to Hawaii. And like once every 2 years, there'd be a phone call. How are you? Just want to keep up. You know, and now we virtually know everything about each other's daily lives, at least how we post the important things. She listens to the radio show as if, you know, her and her friends, and she does community theater. And, you know, I follow it online, and they photograph it, and they take videos of it.
Because you have a theater background.
So are we
That's
better
right.
connected or less connected?
I think we're...
I think more.
Better, definitely better connected.
Definitely.
And that's because we would have lost this kind of connection
That's right, we
totally.
would've.
There's a lot of back and forth. There's negatives and positives about, everything. But I think in a lot of cases, technology has connected us
I
better.
agree.
Because part of it is, remember, none of you are old enough to remember. Maybe Wayne is. But we used to pay for long-distance calls.
What's
Do you remember
he saying,
when we used
Wayne?
to pay?
Is that called a dial-up phone?
Yeah, remember the dial-up phone?
We actually had directory assistants too,
That's right. the
and an
directory assistant.
operator to
Directory
talk to.
assistants?
Yes, that's right.
And operators. But
Good.
I remember wanting to call when I went down to. I'm from New York, and when I went down to Florida for college, right, there was exactly a 1-minute call. It was every Sunday. I called. I reversed the charges, and it was for 1 minute because it was some. What was it?
Hello,
Something
Ma?
like $3 a minute or something like that.
Oh yeah. Back
You-
then, you
Did you pay
reverse
tuition?
charges. Oh yeah,
That's right.
they'd get you on that one.
And I'd get on the phone. I go, "Hi, Mommy, Daddy. How are you?" Go, "David, how are you doing? Are you okay? Is everything good? Are you eating?" And I go, "Yes." It goes, "Okay, call next week."
Love you,
That was
bye.
it. Yeah.
But
love
now
bye.
you could be liking the picture
Oh,
of the.
yeah. Now you're sitting there on Skype or anything.
Yeah.
Go, "Hi, I'll see you later. Where you going?" "I'm in Italy now. I just got into my hotel room. Here's my internet connection and all that." All right. So that's really great. So we used to talk a lot about social media. For those of you who know me, you know that I actually came from a big advertising marketing background. And one of the things we were talking about over the months is how do you bring the quality type of marketing that we were able to deliver over the years to very, very big, large clients. I remember running the Ford account or the Microsoft account, that type of thing. But they had millions and millions of dollars to spend on strategy, on implementation. And now we really have the capability of delivering a very similar effect to smaller businesses and, in some cases, individuals who are in business. So we actually put our heads together, and we wanted something that could be rolled out in communities. And the one thing, and I'm always telling people like this, I was the exact opposite of the way most people think. Being a New Yorker, I thought it was really easy to make it in New York, honestly. I joined
You
advertising.
can make it there. You can make it
anywhere.
anywhere.
Well, that's just it. But that's
up to
not.
you.
But
It's not true.
It's not true. That's the thing.
It's up to you.
So I joined an
That's right.
advertising
You get it.
agency in something like 1986. By 1990, I was on its board of directors. It was a breeze. I come down into a small town, and I'm really trying to understand marketing. And I'm going, oh my God, this is really difficult. And the difficulty was,
Very.
and it all comes down to the fact that every dollar means something.
Yes.
Right? A small business, local communities, every dollar has to really work for the business, for the community, right? So it's not like, oh, I have AT&T as a client. Hey, David, let's go out to lunch. I'll meet you in Paris in about a week. We'll have lunch. I'll fly over. It'll be on us, right? Now it's really sitting there going, how are you going to spend the $10 that I have to spend?
Right.
So it took a while to, how do you make something work? So first of all, in thinking of the brand itself, I thought it had to be a center of the community. I think communities respond to something at the center. And the other thing, it had to work for the talent in the community, and there's so much talent in the small communities. People who specialize like Kimball in social media, or Tania, who's a creative director, really creative strategist, that type of thing. And everybody individually is trying to help out various businesses. So what happens if we collectively put everybody together? We vetted everybody.
What a strategy.
Yeah, brilliant, right? And said, look, right, we'll really vet the people. We're going to make sure, and we're going to try to give you bang for the buck. And we're going to try to think different models for clients. Like, sometimes you have a client and they don't have that much money. But what happens if we put 10 clients with similar goals together and we put that one team, really senior team in place? That senior team who could have delivered for a Procter, who could have delivered for a Ford motor car or a Microsoft, right? But now they have to deliver for really small companies where every dollar works. But we don't want to take their $100 and say, I'm putting some little guy on your business because you only have $100 to spend.
Right.
But for that $100, because it's really important to you, I'll put very senior people if I can put enough people together to support this team. So we looked at all these different business models. And finally, we came up with the center, and we called it the Center for Content and Conversation.
And it's Center RE. It's very special.
That's right. It's Center RE.
It's classy.
Centra.
That's right. And, you know,
Classy.
because we're very honest, I'll say I did it to be classy, but the truth was, the way I wanted to name it, I couldn't get the URL at ER.
Oh, perfect.
So I went with the RE.
It's like theater and theater, you know,
That's
with
right.
the RE.
Theatre.
Yeah. Theatre. I
Yeah.
prefer
It's
the
a
RE.
cent-
So we like
Centra.
to say you're getting the classy name for good prices.
There you go, and it makes sense.
Right. So we do have this offering, and now we've populated the team with some of the most experienced people, and everybody in the communities that we've rolled out to in Indian River, they know all the players in the community, and we are now put together sort of in a way that, you know, if we have Idea Garden Advertising working with Top Dog, working with Chunky Monkey, as we'll orchestrate the team so they get the full service offering.
Because we all have our special skills.
That's right. Everybody has a
And
special
there's
skill.
value in collaboration.
Right? And the great purpose that the center could serve is by really making sure that the right people are put together with the right strategy behind it. And, you know, my core skill has always been business strategy. And I think that happened because during the .com, when we had one of the people who listen to the radio know that I started one of the very first of the internet marketing companies called Blue Marble.
Did you invent the internet?
No,
I thought Al Gore did. Al Gore did.
Not only that, but I advised Al Gore on starting up the channel he started, you know, and that's another story. I'm holding those two. I have 4 stories that I'm going to tell. And I'm going to talk about Buckingham Palace. I'm going to talk about the White House, and I'm going to talk about Al Gore
love
next
that
week.
story. You have to tell
Right,
it.
I will, but I'm not going to tell it today. But I will tell those
It's a teaser.
stories. But today I
lead-in.
wanted to concentrate on this because
Such a tease.
a lot of these shows use their airtime
Content
to
tease.
really promote what they're doing, right? We'd like to also be able to promote what we're trying to do
Yes.
because we think we've built something that'll benefit the community. And, you know, I think I started talking about the content and conversation. The reason I focus the Center of Content and Conversation, because content is key, right? What you are, your brand, and how your brand expresses itself, and the content you produce, and how we spread the conversation, right, is the core. So I know we've only got a minute. I know I did this at the last minute, but I wanted everybody to meet Kimball, and everybody knows Tania.
Hopefully we made a
Chunky
good
Chat.
impression, though. I feel like I brought the level of your credibility down a little bit.
I have to tell you, if you thought that, the joy factor went up about 10 notches.
You're the content today. We're the conversation.
That's right. And your dancing girls.
That's right.
That's right.
And this one over
And
here says,
Wayne.
I think my show's been far too serious, don't you think? This is David
Let's
Yak
lighten it
here
up.
from Yak About Tech. Thanks for being here. This was a fun show for me.